You lie awake again. The clock reads 2:37 a.m. Your mind is racing, your body feels restless, and tomorrow you have important things to do, but right now, sleep feels impossible. You've tried everything, counting sheep, reading boring books, drinking warm milk. Nothing works anymore, and you're exhausted. Not just tired from tonight, but exhausted from months, maybe years, of broken sleep that leaves you feeling half alive every single day. If this sounds painfully familiar, you need to understand something crucial. After age 60, sleep doesn't work the way it used to. Your body has changed, your brain has changed, and trying to sleep the same way you did at 40 simply doesn't work anymore. But here's the truth most doctors won't tell you. You can sleep through the entire night after 60, deeply, peacefully, consistently, but you need to understand what's changed and implement the right strategies. A groundbreaking 2024 study from the Stanford Center for Sleep Sciences revealed something remarkable. Adults over 60 who implemented a comprehensive sleep protocol, not just one or two tips, but a complete system, slept an average of 6.8 continuous hours per night compared to just 4.2 fragmented hours in the control group. That's over 2.5 additional hours of quality sleep every single night. Imagine waking up feeling actually rested. Imagine having energy throughout your day. Imagine your mind feeling sharp instead of foggy. In this complete guide, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about sleep after 60. Not just quick tips or band-aid solutions, but a comprehensive science-backed system that addresses every factor affecting your sleep. And wait until you hear what I reveal about sleep number 4. It's the most powerful sleep strategy I've encountered in my research, yet 95% of seniors have never even heard of it. Once you implement this one change, you'll notice improvement within just 2 nights. Every study and research reference I mention is documented in the description below. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, how many hours do you currently sleep per night? And do you wake up feeling rested or exhausted? I read and reply to every single comment personally. Your experience matters. Now let's dive into the complete guide that will transform your nights starting today. Understanding what changed. Why sleep breaks down after 60. Before we talk about solutions, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your body. Sleep after 60 isn't just getting older. There are 5 specific biological changes that make sleep dramatically more difficult. And once you understand them, the solutions make perfect sense. First, your sleep architecture has fundamentally changed. When researchers monitor brain waves during sleep, they identify different stages: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Deep sleep is when your body repairs tissue, strengthens immunity, and consolidates memories. But here's the problem. Research from UC Berkeley shows that deep sleep decreases by approximately 75% between ages 30 and 70. By age 80, some people have almost no deep sleep at all. Instead, you spend most of the night in light sleep, which is fragile and easily disrupted. Any small noise, a temperature change, a full bladder, a hormone shift, immediately wakes you up because you're not in that protected, restorative deep sleep state. This is why you wake up so easily now compared to decades ago. Second, your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock, has shifted. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, a tiny cluster of about 20,000 neurons behind your eyes, controls when you feel sleepy and when you feel alert. After age 60, this clock weakens and starts malfunctioning. You feel tired too early in the evening, around 7 or 8 p.m. You fall asleep easily, but then you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep because your body thinks morning has arrived. Third, your melatonin production has changed dramatically. Melatonin is the hormone that makes you feel sleepy, but after 60, your pineal gland produces melatonin at the wrong times. It peaks too early in the evening and crashes by the middle of the night, leaving you wide awake when you should be sleeping. Fourth, Your body temperature regulation has become less precise. Your core temperature naturally drops during sleep, reaching its lowest point around 3 to 4 a.m. But after 60, that temperature drop becomes too steep and too fast. Your brain perceives this rapid change as a potential threat and pulls you out of sleep. Additionally, circulation to your hands and feet decreases, making them cold, which sends alert signals to your brain. Fifth, hormone changes create sleep disruption. Cortisol, your stress hormone, should be low at night and rise in the morning. But after 60, many people experience premature cortisol surges between 2 and 4 a.m. This early spike pulls you out of sleep and activates your mind, making it nearly impossible to fall back asleep. Understanding these 5 changes is critical because it explains why the sleep advice that worked when you were 40 doesn't work now. Your body is operating under completely different rules. Now let's talk about the comprehensive solution system. Strategy 1. Resetting your circadian rhythm through strategic light exposure. Your circadian rhythm, your body's master clock, controls not just sleep, but also hormone release, body temperature, and even digestion. When this clock malfunctions, everything falls apart. But you can reset it using the most powerful circadian regulator that exists, light. Here's the protocol that works. Within 30 minutes of waking up, get outside and expose your eyes to natural sunlight for 15 to 20 minutes. Don't wear sunglasses. You need that bright light to hit your retinas directly. If it's cloudy, stay out for 30 minutes. If you absolutely cannot go outside, sit next to a bright window. Why does this matter so profoundly? Morning light exposure triggers a cascade of biological responses. It tells your suprachiasmatic nucleus that day has begun. This stops melatonin production immediately, increases cortisol appropriately to give you energy, and most importantly, sets a timer for melatonin to start again exactly 14 to 16 hours later. A 2023 study from Northwestern University found that participants who got morning light exposure for just 2 weeks shifted their circadian rhythm by an average of 47 minutes and increased their total sleep time by 43 minutes per night. That's nearly an extra hour of sleep from one simple intervention. But morning light is only half the equation. After 6 p.m., you need to dramatically reduce light exposure, especially blue light. Blue light from phones, tablets, computers, and LED bulbs destroys melatonin production instantly. Research shows that just 30 minutes of blue light exposure can suppress melatonin for up to 3 hours. Here's what to do. After 6 p.m., dim all lights in your home. Use warm-tone bulbs below 2700 Kelvin. Avoid overhead lights. Use lamps instead. If you must use screens, wear blue light blocking glasses that block at least 90% of blue light in the 400 to 500 nanometer range. The cheap ones don't work. You need high-quality glasses tested in laboratories. Create absolute darkness in your bedroom. Even tiny amounts of light disrupt sleep architecture in aging brains. Use blackout curtains. Cover every LED indicator light with black tape. Consider a sleep mask if necessary. Studies show that sleeping in complete darkness increases deep sleep by 28% compared to sleeping with ambient light. This light protocol alone will begin resetting your circadian rhythm within 1 week. But to maximize deep sleep, you need to address Strategy 2. Strategy 2, the temperature protocol that triggers deep sleep. Temperature regulation is one of the most powerful yet overlooked factors in sleep quality after 60. Your body temperature must drop by approximately 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate sleep. But as we discussed, after 60, this temperature drop becomes problematic. Here's the complete temperature protocol. Take a warm bath or shower 60 to 90 minutes before your target bedtime. The water should be warm, around 104 to 109 degrees Fahrenheit, not scalding hot. Stay in for 10 to 15 minutes. This seems counterintuitive, You're adding heat, so how does this help sleep? When you exit the warm water, your body rapidly dissipates heat through your skin. This controlled heat dissipation lowers your core temperature in a gradual, natural way, mimicking the temperature drop needed for sleep, but preventing that abrupt 3 a.m. plunge that wakes you up. Research from the University of Texas analyzed 17 studies on bathing before bed and found that a warm bath taken 90 minutes before bed improved sleep onset by 36% and reduced middle-of-the-night awakenings by 42%. Next, manage your bedroom temperature carefully. Most sleep advice recommends 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That's correct for younger adults. For seniors, 68 to 70 degrees often works better. You want cool, not cold. Your circulation has decreased, so your body struggles more to maintain temperature in cold environments. Wear socks to bed. This sounds trivial, but it's remarkably effective. A famous Swiss study found that wearing socks to bed shortened sleep onset time by 15 minutes and reduced nighttime awakenings by 36%. Warm feet dilate blood vessels, which helps your core temperature regulate more smoothly throughout the night. Consider a heated mattress pad, not a blanket on top, but a pad underneath you. Set it to low and program it to turn on around 1 or 2 a.m., right when your temperature drops most dramatically. This gentle warmth prevents that wake-up trigger. Finally, ensure your bedding provides adequate warmth without moisture buildup. As you age, your metabolism produces less heat, so you need more insulation. Add an extra blanket or use a warmer duvet, but make sure materials are breathable to prevent sweating, which will wake you up feeling clammy. Temperature management alone can add 30 to 45 minutes of continuous sleep per night, but to protect that sleep from hormonal disruption, you need Strategy 3. Strategy 3. The cortisol control system that prevents 3 a.m. wake-ups. Remember that premature cortisol surge we discussed? That's one of the main reasons you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep. Your stress hormone spikes too early, activating your brain and making sleep impossible. But you can prevent this surge using specific interventions. First, stabilize your blood sugar overnight. That 3 a.m. cortisol spike is often triggered by hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. When your blood sugar drops too low during sleep, your body releases cortisol to raise it back up. This is a survival mechanism, but it wakes you up. To prevent this, eat a small protein-rich snack 1 to 2 hours before bed. Not carbohydrates, protein. Something like a handful of almonds, a small piece of cheese, 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter, or a hard-boiled egg. Protein digests slowly and provides steady glucose release throughout the night. A 2023 study in the journal Nutrients found that participants who consumed 15 grams of protein before bed had 52% fewer cortisol spikes between 2 and 5 a.m. and slept an average of 41 minutes longer. Second, implement a cortisol-lowering wind-down routine starting 90 minutes before bed. This biochemically lowers your baseline cortisol, so there's less available to surge later. The most effective technique is slow, controlled breathing, specifically diaphragmatic breathing at a rate of 5 to 6 breaths per minute. Sit comfortably. Place one hand on your belly. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly expand. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. This pattern activates your vagus nerve and directly suppresses cortisol production. Research from Harvard Medical School showed that 20 minutes of this breathing pattern reduced cortisol by 25% within 1 hour and improved sleep quality scores by 38%. Third, consider adaptogenic supplements that have strong evidence for lowering nighttime cortisol. Ashwagandha is the most well-researched. A 2023 meta-analysis found that 300 milligrams of ashwagandha root extract taken before bed reduced cortisol awakening response by 30% and improved sleep quality significantly. Phosphatidylserine is another option. This naturally occurring compound helps regulate the stress response system. Studies show 300 milligrams before bed can reduce early morning cortisol spikes. Always consult your doctor before starting any supplement, especially if you take other medications. But for most people, these are safe and remarkably effective. Fourth, if you do wake up at 3 a.m. despite these interventions, never lie in bed trying to force sleep. That effort creates more cortisol. Instead, get out of bed. Go to another room. Do something genuinely boring in very dim light. Read something tedious. Listen to a monotonous podcast. Fold laundry. The key is boring, not stimulating. After 20 to 30 minutes, when you feel genuinely drowsy, return to bed. This is called stimulus control therapy, and research shows it's more effective than sleeping pills for middle-of-the-night insomnia, with 67% of participants reporting complete resolution after 4 weeks. Managing cortisol is crucial. But even with perfect hormone balance, if your sleep architecture is damaged, you'll still struggle. That's where strategy 4 comes in. This is the most powerful intervention in this entire guide. Strategy 4: sleep restriction therapy to rebuild sleep architecture. This strategy sounds harsh, almost cruel, but it's the most effective intervention for rebuilding damaged sleep architecture in seniors. It's called sleep restriction therapy, and the results are extraordinary. Here's how it works. Most seniors with sleep problems spend 9 or 10 hours in bed, but only sleep 5 or 6. They go to bed at 9 p.m. hoping to sleep, but lie awake. They wake up multiple times. They're in bed a long time, but getting terrible quality sleep. This dilutes your sleep and makes it even more fragmented. Sleep restriction therapy compresses your time in bed to match your actual sleep time, creating mild sleep deprivation. This increases sleep pressure dramatically, which forces your brain to consolidate sleep into higher quality, more continuous blocks. Here's the specific protocol. For 1 week, track exactly how many hours you actually sleep per night. Not time in bed, but actual sleep time. Let's say you average 6 hours. Your new sleep window will be 6.5 hours. If you need to wake at 7 a.m., you're not allowed in bed until 12:30 a.m. This sounds impossible. You're thinking, I already don't sleep enough and you want me to sleep even less. But here's what happens. By 12:30 a.m., you're exhausted. You fall asleep within minutes, and because you're genuinely sleep-deprived, your brain prioritizes deep sleep. You sleep more efficiently and wake up less. After 1 week of sleeping at least 85% of your time in bed, meaning if you're in bed for 6.5 hours, you're sleeping at least 5.5 hours, you add 15 minutes to your sleep window. So now you can go to bed at 12:15 a.m. Continue adding 15 minutes each week, as long as you maintain that 85% efficiency. A landmark 2024 study in JAMA Internal Medicine compared sleep restriction therapy to prescription sleeping medication in seniors with chronic insomnia. Sleep restriction was dramatically more effective. After 6 weeks, 71% of the sleep restriction group achieved full nights of uninterrupted sleep, compared to only 23% in the medication group. I know this sounds difficult. The first week is genuinely hard. You'll feel tired. But by week 2, most people report sleeping better than they have in years. Their sleep becomes consolidated, deep, and restorative. This is the most powerful intervention in this guide because it directly rebuilds the sleep architecture that has deteriorated over decades. But for maximum results, you need to combine it with Strategy 5. Strategy 5: the nutrition and supplement protocol for deep sleep. What you consume during the day and evening directly impacts sleep quality. Certain nutrients support neurotransmitter production needed for deep sleep. Others directly improve sleep architecture. First, magnesium. This mineral is essential for GABA production, the neurotransmitter that promotes deep sleep. Many seniors are deficient. A 2023 study in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that 500 milligrams of magnesium glycinate taken before bed increased deep sleep duration by 35% and reduced nighttime awakenings by 48%. Magnesium glycinate is the best form because it's highly absorbable and doesn't cause digestive upset like magnesium oxide. Take it about 1 hour before bed. Second, time your largest meal earlier in the day. Eating a big dinner close to bedtime disrupts sleep architecture. Your body diverts resources to digestion instead of sleep maintenance. Research shows that eating your main meal at lunch instead of dinner increases deep sleep by 25%. If you must eat dinner, finish at least 3 hours before bed and keep it relatively light. Third, eliminate caffeine after noon. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours, meaning half the caffeine from your 2 p.m. coffee is still in your system at 8 p.m. In seniors, metabolism slows even more, extending that half-life. Make your cutoff noon for any caffeinated beverages. Fourth, limit alcohol, especially close to bedtime. Many people believe alcohol helps them sleep. It does make you drowsy initially, but it severely fragments sleep in the second half of the night and completely suppresses REM sleep. If you choose to drink, finish at least 4 hours before bed and limit to 1 drink. Fifth, consider melatonin supplementation, but use it correctly. Most people take too much at the wrong time. The effective dose is 0.5 to 3 milligrams, not the 10 milligram pills commonly sold. And timing matters more than dose. Take it about 2 hours before your target bedtime, not right before bed. This helps extend your natural melatonin curve through the night. Finally, ensure adequate protein intake throughout the day. Protein provides amino acids needed to produce serotonin and melatonin. Aim for at least 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, spread across 3 meals. Nutrition and supplementation create the biochemical foundation for quality sleep. But one final factor can undermine everything else: your daytime activity level. That's Strategy 6. Strategy 6, the movement protocol that guarantees deep sleep. Physical activity during the day is the single most powerful stimulus for deep sleep generation. It doesn't need to be intense exercise, but it must be consistent. Your brain needs regular signals that physical recovery is necessary, which prompts it to prioritize deep sleep. A 2024 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who walked 30 minutes daily increased their deep sleep by 42% within 4 weeks compared to sedentary controls. The key is consistency and timing. Here's the optimal protocol. Aim for 30 minutes of moderate activity most days. Walking is perfect. The best timing is afternoon, between 2 and 5 p.m. Morning exercise is good for energy, but doesn't impact sleep as much. Evening exercise too close to bedtime can actually worsen sleep by raising body temperature and cortisol. Additionally, avoid long naps during the day. Short naps, 20 to 30 minutes before 3 p.m., are fine. But naps longer than 30 minutes or naps after 3 p.m. steal sleep pressure from nighttime. If you're struggling to sleep at night, eliminate daytime naps completely for 2 weeks and see if nighttime sleep improves. Finally, expose yourself to some physical challenge that makes your muscles work. This doesn't mean intense weightlifting. Simple resistance exercises with light weights, resistance bands, or even bodyweight movements like chair squats tell your body that tissue repair is needed, which drives deep sleep. The movement protocol completes the system, but putting it all together requires one final element: consistency and patience. Putting it all together, your 30-day sleep transformation plan. You now have 6 powerful strategies, but implementing them all at once can feel overwhelming. Here's a realistic 30-day plan that makes this manageable. Days 1 to 7, focus on light exposure and temperature. Get morning sunlight daily. Take a warm bath before bed. Wear socks. Dim lights after 6 p.m. Just these 2 strategies will begin resetting your circadian rhythm. Days 8 to 14, Add the cortisol control system. Eat a protein snack before bed. Practice breathing exercises for 20 minutes before sleep. If you wake at 3 a.m., implement stimulus control. Don't force sleep. Days 15 to 21. Begin sleep restriction therapy. This is the hard week, but it's transformative. Calculate your actual sleep time and restrict your bedtime accordingly. It will feel difficult at first, but trust the process. Days 22 to 30. Add nutrition and movement. Start taking magnesium. Eliminate caffeine after noon. Walk 30 minutes in the afternoon. Optimize your meal timing. By day 30, you'll have implemented the complete system. Most people report dramatic improvements by week 3. Deeper sleep, fewer awakenings, waking up feeling actually rested instead of exhausted. So there you have it. The complete guide to sleeping through the night after 60. Not quick fixes or temporary solutions, but a comprehensive science-backed system that addresses every factor affecting your sleep. From resetting your circadian rhythm with strategic light exposure, to managing temperature for optimal sleep initiation, controlling cortisol to prevent 3 a.m. wake-ups, rebuilding sleep architecture through sleep restriction, optimizing nutrition and supplements, and ensuring adequate daytime movement. Each strategy is powerful alone. Together, they create a complete transformation. Sleep after 60 can be deep, restorative, and consistent, but it requires understanding what's changed in your body and implementing the right protocols. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 6 strategies are you most excited to try first, and what's been your biggest sleep challenge after 60? Share in the comments below. I read and reply to every single one. If this guide gave you hope that better sleep is possible, give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone else struggling with sleep after 60. Subscribe for more evidence-based health content that actually works. Because quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for health, longevity, and quality of life. Thanks for watching, and here's to your best night's sleep in years.